Hello, hi, I'm Johnny. How's it going? So yeah, I've had a few people ask me, "Hey, can you show us around the studio and explain what everything does?" And just generally just talk about your shit. And I was like, "Yeah, I can do that." And so now that's what we're doing. We're gonna go around. You can treat this like a Q&A. I will answer your questions to the best of my ability about what stuff does, how I use it, instruments, gear, blah, 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 the space, soundproofing, all that stuff. I will talk about it now. So go ahead and give me some questions if you got them, but I will start off with a tour. So let's just flip this whole camera. So this is Wasted Space Studios. This is kind of like a decade in the making. Here we go. I've been working on this since 2013. So yeah, we've got this. I'll go outside and show you what this looks like. So this is Wasted Space. There we go. Nice little building in the back. We got cigarette thingy, little doorbell, bada bing. And the doorbell, this is a fun feature. Listen carefully. It's a cat. It's a cat meowing. So this little entrance area, coat rack, bathroom, all that stuff. We got a mini fridge with nothing in it right now. And this little desk just for people to eat, do their thing, a little microwave, and all that. And so there's two main parts. There's also this. Here you go. So this is our mic closet. Right now it's still kind of dirty from tour, but we've got a bunch of guitar pedals, various different ones. We've got some old gear that doesn't work, honestly. And all of our microphones, some Ocean Ways. We got a Woodpecker from Blue. We've got an AKG C14 or a 414. We got a bunch of various drum mics, some 57s. This little bullet mic that I like on vocals sometimes if I'm doing something really specific. The nicer microphones are all in here right now. So this is the live room. And in here, this is where I have all my band practices. You might notice my voice just got a lot deader. And that's the soundproofing. So in here, I keep most of my good microphones up. I've got the Soyuz 017 tube microphone. This thing is my baby. Hello. We've got, let's see, Beta 52 kick mic. This is another really nice mic. This is a AEA ribbon mic. It's passive, but I've got this active box that I use to make an active ribbon, which lower noise, higher gain. We've got my 1980s Rhodes Mark II here, which is this really pretty electric piano. My bass Fiona, and my new Mark bass amp. We got the grandmother Moog, which is this semi-modular synthesizer. Let's see. Various percussion items here. These are some other babies of mine. These are JZ Mike's V67s. They are... The phone is vertical, so it records vertically. Orientation is locked. Yeah, that's fine. So these are my V67s from JZ Mics. They're a company out of Latvia, and they make these clones, which are essentially supposed to be like the capsule in a U67 vocal mic. They sound amazing. They're my favorite for drum overheads, great for male vocals, great for acoustic guitar. So this is like Fiona Apple, sort of. I call it Fiona because it's like a green apple and because it's green like Fiona from Shrek, so her name is Fiona. Let's see. We've got a bunch of other guitars. Most of them aren't very good, but a few of select ones are. This is my Vox, my main recording amp that I like. In here, I've got my George H. Wade drums. This is my studio kit that I use most of the time when Ethan's stuff isn't here. So, actually talking about how this room works, we've got our headphone playback, these really nice Behringer X16, P16M things, basically a 16-channel headphone unit that goes through ADAC connection, so I can send up to 16 individual channels, whereas like one will be my lead vocal that you're hearing yourself in the mic, 2 might be drums, 3 might be bass, 4 is guitars, 5 is horns, whatever. Do you have a go-to guitar? Yes, and I will show you that. But yeah, so over here you can see we've got this right here is a Cat 5 connection to the wall that goes into our headphone units. So everything is through Cat 5. And then we've got 24 inputs available through XLR. So we go through the wall into the other room. And then also right here, you'll notice I have two TRS ports that are also on the other side of the wall. This is so we can plug our guitars into the amps from the mix room so that we can plug in from there and play into here. So my go-to guitar, I will show you in the other room. Am I okay? Yeah, I just, yeah, I do sound winded because I'm talking a lot. And it's really fucking cold in here, honestly. The heater was off. So my go-to guitar is now this. This is my Fender American Ultra Telly. It's a Texas T finish, so it's got this really nice golden brown sparkly finish, which you can kind of see. It's got noiseless pickups, and that makes it a super clean recording guitar. So yeah, this room is the mix room. I've got Genelex 8030B speakers. Nothing crazy, but they sound really good. Let's see. Got a pretty cheap monitoring system. Nothing crazy. I'd love to upgrade it, but whatever. It's still pretty good. This is the Nero from Audient. Now, where the money is in this room comes down to this. So this is where I start talking about how stuff works. So let's just break it down to basics. Let's say you have a microphone. There you go. You got a microphone. I do have a girlfriend. Thank you. So a microphone requires a preamp. A preamp is what... Oh, yeah. Here, I'll show you this. This is a Moog Sub 37 synthesizer and a Prophet 6 synthesizer. They're awesome. Recording and making music in the studio versus playing live. I mean, playing live is really about being in that moment, in that room, and it's more about the audience. Playing live has a lot more to do with the audience, whereas with the studio, you are crafting sounds in like a perfect world. It's a lot different. So anyway, back to how this stuff works. When you have a microphone, you got to power it with a preamp. Now, the quality of your preamp will actually change and alter the sound of the microphone. The better your preamp, the better it's going to sound quality-wise. And also, some preamps have different qualities, different coloration, saturation, and that is why I really like this. This is my main preamp channel strip. These are 4 pre's. The way that this works, let's say we go into this thing. We can go in the front, or if we go in the back, we come from the other room. Now, this thing has a series of transformers on the input and output. I can change the impedance of those transformers, and essentially, by changing these settings, it gives me a different type of preamp. It can emulate a Neve, it can emulate an API, it can emulate an Avalon, which are just 3 very different types of preamps. This thing right here is more expensive than I would like to admit, but it is very, very good. And then I've got the 4710D from UAD. This is basically 4 channels with a built-in compressor. So you can see I can set the attack to fast or slow, and then I essentially set my gain, I back off the level, and that gives me some natural compression. It also has this mix between a transformer and a tube, giving me a little bit of coloration differences depending on what I want. So now your question might be, how do you get that into a computer? How does that work? So that is where you come to your AD-DA converter. So AD, analog to digital, DA, digital to analog. So this is another one of those high dollar items, but this is the Lynx Aurora N. The only thing that this does is convert my signal into the digital domain, into the computer. And it also allows me to send the digital tracks out into some of my outboard gear. Deanna is probably not going to go on tour with me. let's see. Do poor quality amps give instruments that radio static sound? That also has to do with your preamps. Or not your preamps, sorry. Your pickups in your guitar. That can cause it. I don't know a ton about guitars, but I do know that your pickups, whether they're wrapped or copper lined or whatever, that can make a big difference. So this Lynx converter, this allows me not only to send stuff in, but I can send it out through my patch bay if I want to. And say I want to add an EQ, I can do stuff like that, blah-bitty-blah-bitty-blah. It's pretty cool. Now I can actually show you this in real time. I've got a track over here. Let me actually pull up a different one that will sound a little bit better or more obvious to you. Which of your songs should I listen to while taking a bus later? Listen to All Right. That's like a main character song. My favorite instrument to play is keys, for sure. So the way this works, I have I'm not going to explain a patch bay because it's a little complicated, but essentially each of these represents an input and an output on every piece of gear that I own. And so that allows me to do something I'll show you in a second. Johnny, a wee bit unrelated, but have you ever taken vocal lessons or are you just built different? I've taken a few. I've taken like 3 vocal lessons and they helped me out quite a bit. So right now I'm going to show you this vocal right here. Now I'm going to take the processing off of it really quick so you can hear what it sounds like just by itself. Tell them it's a lie, still they don't believe you. Take all of the time that you think you need to. So what I'm going to do here, this is the track with nothing on it. I have pre-built I/O templates, and one of my pre-built I/Os is the Warm Audio EQP. So that automatically routes to here. So you can see what's happening here. Gather up your things, practice what you might say. Right authority, exercise your own way. Nothing left to do. Build it by without you. Pack it up and go. Better on your own. So that's kind of an example of how that works. When Johnny runs out of stuff to show, he should just leave the studio, walk onto the street into the first door he sees, and start touring the building. So anyway, that's that. That's more or less everything else I have is a plug-in. We've got this U80 satellite, which lets me use U80 stuff. And no, these are not vocals for an upcoming song. That is a project I'm working on with somebody else. So this is just a MIDI controller. Over here, I've also got this Akai reel-to-reel, and I use this mostly for actually tape delay is what I like it for. I'll print stuff onto this, and then I'll record it back, and I'll use it as a delay. Now over here, this is missing a string. This is a Martin acoustic that I've got that sounds particularly good. I will demonstrate a little bit, because why not? So it's missing a string, but sounds pretty good. That is my go-to acoustic guitar. I will not give you a tour of the printer. It is a printer. It prints. So yeah, that's really it. You can see above me, we've got a cloud. I'll give you a better view of it. This is to block out high frequencies from the ceiling bouncing back. And then on the walls, you can see we've got bass traps in the corners and isolation material all over the walls. Let's see what else we got comment-wise. I'm now feeling the sudden urge to go and buy a Ford F-150. I'm not going to play I Love Trucks. I'm not going to play anything on this stream. So what else do we got? Over here, you might see these guys. These are literally just power conditioners. These supply all the power in the back to everything I've got here. I've got a couple of them. Another one behind here, just supplying power to everything. Let's see. Hello, Costa Rica. Thank you for listening. All right, and then of course, yeah, the bathroom. These are photos taken from 2020, right when we opened this building. As you can see, we were having a really good time, doing lots of cool work, having lots of things happen, and it goes all the way until whoopsie doopsies. Big jump from March 21st to, that's right, July 20th. I wonder what caused that. No one knows. So yeah, Wasted Space Studios, there you go. There it is. Thank you for listening. That's pretty much it, you know? Bathrobes are fantastic. Big fan. I don't have one, but I wish I did. So yeah, thanks for listening. I will keep this up on YouTube for you guys to watch, or for anybody to watch if you want to. And there you go. Goodbye.